J.D. Vance was born James Donald Bowman on August 2, 1984, in Middletown, Ohio. His mother, Bev Vance, struggled with drug addiction, leading to an unstable childhood marked by frequent relocations and family turmoil. His biological father, Donald Bowman, was largely absent during his early years. As a child, he was primarily raised by his maternal grandparents, Jim and Bonnie Vance, known as Mama and Papa, who played a significant role in shaping his values and aspirations. Middletown, once a thriving steel town, was experiencing economic decline when Vance was growing up. Factories were shutting down, jobs were disappearing, and social problems such as drug abuse and family instability were widespread. These struggles would later form the basis of Hillbilly Elegy, in which he described the difficulties of growing up in a community plagued by economic hardship and addiction. Despite his turbulent upbringing, Vance found stability and motivation through his grandmother, Mama, who instilled in him a strong work ethic and a belief in education as a pathway to a better life. He attended Middletown High School and, after graduation, enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. His military service included a tour in Iraq, an experience that further shaped his worldview and discipline. After leaving the Marines, Vance pursued higher education, enrolling at Ohio State University. He graduated with a degree in political science and philosophy before being accepted into Yale Law School, a rare achievement for someone from his background. At Yale, he studied under prominent legal scholars and found mentors, including Professor Amy Chua, who encouraged him to write about his life experiences. In 2016, Vance published Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis, which chronicled his personal journey from a troubled Appalachian family to Yale Law School. The book was both a personal reflection and a socio-political analysis of the struggles facing white working-class Americans, particularly in the Rust Belt and Appalachian regions. The memoir became an instant success, praised for its raw honesty and insight into a demographic that had been largely overlooked in political discourse. Released during the 2016 presidential election, Hillbilly Elegy was widely discussed as an explanation for the rise of Donald Trump and the frustrations of working-class voters. The book remained on bestseller lists for months and was later adapted into a Netflix film directed by Ron Howard, starring Glenn Close and Amy Adams. While Hillbilly Elegy was celebrated for shedding light on economic and social decline in Middle America, it also faced criticism. Some viewed it as reinforcing negative stereotypes about Appalachians, while others felt it did not sufficiently address systemic issues such as job loss and policy failures. Regardless of the controversy, the book cemented Vance's status as an influential commentator on American politics and culture. Vance is married to Usha Vance, a fellow Yale Law graduate and former Supreme Court clerk. The couple has 3 children and resides in Cincinnati, Ohio. After law school, Vance worked in the venture capital industry, joining Peter Thiel's firm, Mithril Capital. He later co-founded Narya Capital, a Cincinnati-based investment firm focused on supporting startups in the Midwest. His business career reinforced his belief in entrepreneurship as a vehicle for revitalizing struggling communities. Politically, Vance initially identified as a conservative-leaning independent and was critical of Donald Trump during the 2016 election. However, by the time he entered politics, his views had shifted significantly. He became a vocal supporter of Trump, embracing a populist, nationalist approach to conservatism. In 2021, Vance announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, running as a Republican to succeed retiring Senator Rob Portman. His campaign received strong backing from conservative figures, including Trump himself, who endorsed Vance despite his earlier criticisms. Vance positioned himself as a champion of working-class Americans, advocating for stricter immigration policies, economic nationalism, and a tough stance against globalization. Vance won the 2022 Senate race, defeating Democrat Tim Ryan in a closely watched contest. As a senator, he aligned himself with the populist wing of the Republican Party, frequently advocating for policies aimed at protecting American jobs, limiting foreign influence, and addressing the opioid crisis, a personal issue given his mother's struggles with addiction. His legislative focus has included pushing for increased manufacturing in the U.S., opposing large-scale immigration, and challenging corporate interests that he believes undermine American workers. Vance has also been an outspoken critic of what he views as excessive government intervention and liberal policies that he argues contribute to economic and social decline. In 2024, President Donald J. Trump extended JD the incredible honor of asking him to serve as the vice presidential nominee for the Republican Party. JD looks forward to serving with President Trump over the next 4 years as they work diligently to make America great again. On January 20th, 2025, Vance was sworn in as the 50th Vice President of the United States. Vance is the third youngest person to serve as Vice President and the first from the millennial generation. He is also the first Marine Corps veteran to serve as Vice President, becoming the highest-ranking Iraq War veteran in the U.S. government.